Hello, can you hear me? That song was Bloom by the Morning Birds, and that's who we're interviewing right now. I believe we have Sam and Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you. Hi.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, glad you are here. So before we get into the interview, could you tell us a little bit about the song that everybody just heard, Bloom?
Sure. That was probably the most recent release, Morning Birds release, and was much more of a vibe that we were trying to put out than the usual verse-chorus bridge that we were following for a while, although we've always been pretty experimental. But this was much more of like kind of a bluesy jazz, trip-hop influence track. I think we recorded the drums, got that drum loop going first, and then kind of improvised some of the guitar lines, and then started layering strings and then the horns. And a lot of it is live instrumentation, but we spent a lot of time kind of mixing it around and throwing stuff at the canvas and seeing what stuck. And then we kind of came up with some ideas for lyrics, and then Jen sung that beautiful vocal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome, definitely. And would you say this song that we just heard um, was it a lot like all your other music, or is there any other ways that you would kind of describe your music to somebody who's asking about it?
I think we're all over the place with our past releases. Bloom being different than all previous releases, I would say. I mean, we have a lot of the singer-songwriter electronic elements in our music, but we don't shy away from jumping around. So if you listen to something like The Quickening that has 22 songs, most of those songs are very different from each other. And then you move into the next release, which was Surrender to This, and that was a little more streamlined, like indie rock, folk genres. And then when you get into Bloom, the release itself was very different because what we focused on was one track from us, the Morning Birds, and then we let 5 other people remix the track. And so we had the original track and then the remixes, and they were all centered around different seasons. So it was a very different release. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a lot of fun. I like it when people do stuff like that. So how did you guys get started initially into music?
For a long time, I was kind of doing this singer-songwriter thing in LA under the name Samuel Marcus, and that was very like Dylan-esque and mostly acoustic kind of tracks, and felt a little stagnant doing that when I met Jennifer. Wanted to kind of get into production and try to approach some different kinds of styles and stuff, and she was really into the kind of eclectic, had eclectic taste in music, and so we kind of founded the Morning Birds on this premise of just experimenting, going out on a whim, combining different genres. And like Jen said, it's been all over the map for most of our releases and the music we've put out. And we're working on something now. We haven't released music in a while, but we're working on an LP now, which I feel like if somebody had been following the trajectory of our career and listened to this new thing, it would really make a lot of sense. It's like a lot of these ideas we've been experimenting with have finally solidified. And so it is very diverse as far as, the influences, but it is, I feel like it's a very cohesive sound now and distinct style where somebody might hear it and say, oh, that's obviously a Morning Birds track.
Mm-hmm. Cool. We'll have to play that EP when it comes out. Looking forward to that.
For sure. We'll get you a copy.
Excellent. We would appreciate that. So why do you think it's important for you guys to experiment in different types of genres with your music?
I think it's important because we both like a huge, wide variety of music. And so the influences are vast. And if we limited ourselves, I don't think that would be true to who we are. So we have to kind of venture out of these boxes that people try to put around music and see what we can come up with. I mean, that's just part of the creating process. But it's also just who we are in general. If you come to our house, we have we have hundreds of vinyl in our bookshelves, and they range from, I don't know, what genres would you say?
Right.
Just anything that you could possibly throw at us, we probably have and we listen to. So I just think that just is important to reflect in the music that we write.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And I think when you can get outside of the box, you become much more creative. There was a specific track on one of Daft Punk's album where they had Jojo, I think he said his name was, and he said that when he let go of all expectations or just let go of any kind of rules about what music is or how you need to play it, it really opened up and allowed him to become a better musician.
Nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I think that that's in life too. If you can let go and just follow where your heart leads you, that's going to be the best and highest experience for anyone. And in music, I think that's important as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
When I was a kid, I remember, the first kind of music I gravitated towards was like soundtracks to movies, and I think it was because it was so out of the box. Usually, it would be like music from and inspired by, and it would be this mix of like all these different artists, as well as orchestral music and instrumental, and so it wouldn't be such a like this artist conveying this type of sound, and here's the 3-minute song, and then this is the single, and so I think that's kind of that cinematic quality is what we've always kind of gone after in our music.
Excellent. Well, would you like to introduce your song "Bring Us to Life"?
Certainly. This is actually, I think, a song we wrote on spec for a film or a commercial.
It was done, I think, in a day.
Yeah.
We wrote it and recorded it and mixed it and did everything in one day.
Wow.
Because we were on a deadline.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think it turned out amazing. It's a great song, and I like what it's saying. So it's awesome that you like it and you're going to share it with your listeners.
Yeah, definitely. Check the song out. It's called "Bring Us to Life" by the Morning Birds.
Shine so bright to bring us to life, to turn on the light. Don't you know that freedom's inside, even if it's just for one night? Let it be said, let it be done. A to turn on the light. Don't you know that freedom's inside, even if it's just for one night? Let it be said, let it be done. A hero has come.
That was Bring Us to Life by the Morning Birds. Super, super grateful to have you guys here on the radio with us.
Happy to be
Yeah,
here.
happy to be here for sure.
Awesome. So why do you think it's important for you to express yourself through the music?
Music is such, an immediate art form, like Bob Marley said, when it hits you, you feel no pain. So I think, we have other interests, from film and visual art, and all of those have some kind of immediacy, but it's a very accessible format, I feel like, to convey a message. Basically, once you can lock in the theme of the song, and you can put the right vibe, the right chorus, the right chords and everything together. It's a very fluid way to translate ideas, and it's also a format that spreads very quickly nowadays with everything going on, SoundCloud and streamable services and everything. So as far as music, I feel like it's the immediacy to the art form.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. And music is definitely the language of the universe, I believe.
Definitely.
Everybody, just it's so easy to connect with music, and a lot of times when, say, like, we'll go to a show and there's people playing music, and then there's people dancing. It's just like a whole moment of unity, I believe, with everybody who's taken part in that moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all vibration, and sound is just a really powerful way to express, not only through words, but through an intuitive part of the soul. Does that make sense? Like expressing vibratory relationship to what you're trying to convey through the lyrics. And I think that's why I was trained in classical music, and I really like classical music because there aren't any lyrics to impede what is coming through the actual instrumentation.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the two cellos?
No.
They're a big cello duo on YouTube, and they play some classical, and then some they get really into it, and they start playing like heavy metal music with it.
Right. I think I've seen that. It's two guys. Is that...
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I was just curious. Speaking of the soul, would you guys say that your music influences your spirituality, or maybe your spirituality influences your music?
Yeah, I think that our spirituality influences the music. I think that when we're writing together, we're focusing on expressing things that are coming from our heart, through experience, through meditation, through whatever means it comes, and trying to convey those in a way that people can understand. I think that's the primary motivation in what we're doing with the Morning Birds, for sure.
Awesome. I love it when people just have a really pure intention with their music, and I think people can feel that too.
Definitely. It's, part of what's hard about pop music is it's become so synthesized. The stuff that's on the radio, and one thing that's so nice, and going back to the immediacy about music, is you hear it right away in the voice. Like you can almost understand where the person's coming from, and when that kind of emotion gets too milked over with auto-tune and kind of the sterile studio environment, it kind of loses that spiritual quality, which our favorite music has. and it's not just going back to like the 50s, the rock and roll 50s and the great music of the 60s. And we love, hip hop, and we love music, that has synthesizers, but it's just about being able to come from a true place, and to capture the authenticity of the artistry, as opposed to having some kind of intention to create a top 40 hit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And so I think this would be a good time to play another one of your songs. We have a list here. Did you guys want to maybe pick one to play for the audience?
I think Delight is one of my favorite tracks that we've done, if you have that one.
Yep. D.E. Light?
Yeah, Delight.
We do have Delight. Did you want to talk a little bit about the song, and then we can play it for everybody?
Sure. Well, this is certainly, relevant to everything that's going on in the socio-political landscape we're all living in today. It's kind of like a call to arms, not, weapons, but the joining of positivity and peace and love, and also, being awakened not only as far as spiritual enlightenment, but to what, the masters, the teachings that have been brought forth in the past, and not being blindfolded by the other powerful figures who, don't want us to know certain truths.
Perfect. This is Delight by the Morning Birds.
Someone's gotta make the first move. They say that we should go within. Oh, how do we begin? No one's shown us what to do. All of the contenders have their own agendas. No one's looking for the whole. All this separation, lack communication. They're not speaking from their souls. So who is gonna lead the way into a brighter day? Which direction do we turn? The destruction of the world we're in, it keeps us worrying. How are we ever gonna learn? The light, 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 the But the world has always been this way. Well, that's what people say. Someone's gotta make the first move. They say that we should go within. Oh, how do we begin? No one's shown us what to do. Only you.
That was Delight by the Morning Birds. Welcome back to the broadcast.
Oh, so happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Definitely. I really enjoy this, and it's actually the first time that I've had two people on the call, but you guys work very well together.
Well, thank you. We spend 24 hours together.
Every day.
24/7. And working together and making music, being creative. So we've had to find a symbiosis.
Yeah, cool. So, I mean, do you think is there any kind of difficulty in playing with somebody who you're around all the time?
Certainly, but I think, I'm really of the mindset that, if you have somebody who, is a good partner who may challenge certain ideas, who isn't like a yes person all the time, which Jen certainly isn't. It makes for a better, final product, because usually you can kind of hash it out and come to an agreement that really services the song, in this case, making it better than, one person's idea could have made it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So say beyond just being with a partner, what other difficulties or challenges do you guys have as musicians?
Well, we have a 6-year-old son, and he's an amazing guy, but he really likes to be in the mix. And so, something like creating music with him around, will probably become a very, very fun pastime for us. But, when you're 6 years old, you can't quite grasp all the nuances and have the patience and stuff like that to record things properly, although we do have fun messing around. But that definitely is an obstacle. If like we wanted to record a song, he would want to be involved, and that is something that we look forward to, but just at the moment is not conducive to getting the Morning Birds new album done. And then we also are entrepreneurs like yourself and run a full-time business called Working Brilliantly, and it's centered on music marketing, publicity, production, and we have a roster of really talented artists who we basically package and present to press in a really compelling way, and so that takes the majority of our energy these days. We've been running the business for almost a decade now, and it's getting to a place where we have employees and stuff, and we're able to step back a little bit to focus on our own creative work. Not that the business isn't creative, it certainly is, but it's the logistical aspects of being a publicist take so much energy and focus, and so that is a pretty intense thing to juggle, business with being an artist.
Right. I totally understand. I have, I know a lot of people who struggle with that. And just actually yesterday we interviewed Drew Foria, who said the same thing. He's a wonderful musician, but he just really is struggling with the business side of that.
I think a lot of artists do, especially if they're, want to do it full time, and the publicity to do it correctly is really a full-time job, more than a full-time job. Mm-hmm. And just staying on top of the ebb and flow of, the journalists, even the major journalists are moving around from all the major outlets, and it's a constant, it's just like one person's full-time job to keep track of where everything's at, as far as the industry, because it seems like it's in a constant state of flux. Right. So yeah, a lot of artists, come to us because, we have cultivated these personal connections with journalists, and we have found it really effective ways to orchestrate releasing material, releasing an album, getting proper exclusives and building momentum through the release date, and all these kind of things that don't really, certainly weren't in our, mind when we were first releasing music, and has, there's quite a learning curve there. And so we happily step in to help if needed.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, if artists and musicians can just focus on their art and creating, and have somebody else help them and assist them with the business side, I think it will really just, encourage them to continue to do it. What inspired you guys to start working brilliantly?
Well, we have had experiences in the past that were not exactly what we wanted to experience with different publicists and whatnot. And so we really felt that we could step in, because both of us really enjoy helping other people in different facets in life. And I came to Sam and we looked at each other and we said, hey, well, there's an empty space here where independent artists aren't really receiving the proper attention, and we can give them that. And so we literally started working brilliantly. And after the first client signed on, it has just snowballed. It hasn't stopped. And I always feel that when you're doing what you're meant to be doing in that time, the doors just open. And that's exactly what happened. So we, I think the instigation was just us seeing that things weren't being done with the highest of integrity and saying we can do this, and the willingness to do it, the desire to help, and then everything just fell into place.
Awesome. And I personally am really looking forward to working with Working Brilliantly and being able to, we've already played some of your musicians' music on our station, and, we're excited to start doing interviews with some of your musicians. So just want to say that I'm super grateful for what you guys are doing for other musicians, and then grateful that you're able to work with us.
Well, we're grateful to have an outlet, that's focused on positivity, bringing that kind of vibration out into the world and connecting with listeners who are focused on that as well.
Definitely. I definitely saw a need for conscious radio stations. There are some like Hay House, but they don't really play a lot of music, and they're mostly talk radio, and they're also I think geared more towards the older generation. So I thought it was important that I created this station, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's geared towards the millennial generation, but it just, I don't know, has a lot of energy, has a lot of youth to it, I believe, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, and there's certainly artists out there creating music that is very rich with that consciousness, and there isn't too many outlets. I see like like Trevor Hall and Nako and the Medicine for People and things like that kind of movement. They have these huge fan bases that come to see them at shows and stuff. But as far as like in the press world, there doesn't seem to be too many outlets who gravitate to them. It's more like, what's the flavor of the month? What's super hip, and so it's nice to see you doing this.
Well, and we hope to see that change, and that's something that's at the forefront of our desire, is to help facilitate that start to shift, to bring more conscious material into the mainstream. I think that the media, our media, in general, as a society, is a huge avenue for consciousness change to take place. And the more that we can facilitate that in our own music and our own creativity, as well as with our company and the influences that we can have within that outlet, that's going to be our main focus. And that is our main focus, is to assist that coming into more of a mainstream perception and awareness. Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like a pioneer, almost like a pioneer of consciousness?
I mean, I don't know if that's really how I feel. I mean, I'm very strong in the way that I perceive spirituality and life, and it's very different than most people I know and interact with. I wouldn't say that it's new. I would say that it's being rediscovered, and that I'm taking it upon myself to rediscover what is there, like who I truly am, who we truly are, and what we're here to be doing on this planet, and changing people's consciousness in a way that brings them closer to who they truly are and what they're meant to be doing.
I love that. I love that you use that analogy, rediscovering it. I think that is brilliant.
Well, it's the truth. It's not something new. It's something that's already the truth. So we just have to kind of cut through everything that's been plastered on top of it to hide it, to rediscover it and bring it forth and live from that place.
Definitely. So do you want to introduce Born to Be Alive?
Yeah, this song, actually, Sam was the instigation behind this song. It's one of my favorite songs that we've ever done. It was around the time that we had rediscovered Queen, right? And I absolutely love that band, by the way. It's an amazing, oh my gosh, so amazing. Anyways, I went away for work, and I came back, and Sam had written this song, and so he had the skeleton of it, and we just kind of sat down. I heard it, I was like blown away, and did the harmonies, and made it what it is. And it's my favorite song. I don't know if Sam has anything to add to it, since it was his creation.
I think that was a perfect introduction.
Awesome.
Cool. This is Born to Be Alive by the Morning Birds.
I got my top down, driving through the suburbs. I hope you wanna come riding with me. After all, I ain't no flash in the pan. I'm the man. Around the way, making hay while the sun don't shine. And make a dime by the way, it ain't no crime. What can I say? I'm the man with the master plan. I make it look easy, it comes naturally. Another ticket to ride. I take it in stride. I'm a four-leaf clover, not a thorn in the side. I'm born to be alive. 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 Can't you see I wanna be your lover? You can trust a man like me with your heart. After all, I ain't that bad of a guy. Come and fight. Forget the past, make it last. Wanna go and it's good. Good things are coming by the way, like I knew they would. What can I say? I'm the man with the master plan. I make it look easy, it comes naturally. Another ticket to ride. Won't kick it aside. I'll take your stock options and make them triple in size. I'm born to be alive. 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 Doom-ba-doom, 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 doom-ba-doom. I'll make you blush and swoon as I lie so the moon for you. A sultry summer's night, dinner by candlelight for two. The sun will slowly set beside the seaside. Take a look at the last moments of light, making love with the stars staring down from the sky. I can't help from singing high. I want to be alive. 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 Step outside. I want to be alive. 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 I want to be alive.
was Born to Be Alive by the Morning Birds. Super grateful to have you guys on here right now on Bring Me Life Radio.
Most definitely.
So, it seems we're coming up to the end of the interview. Do you have any advice for any up-and-coming musicians or anybody who would like to get started in music?
Well, certainly, as far as the business goes, I I would recommend getting in touch with us at Working Brilliantly to get your release, the kind of exposure it deserves. If you can look at our website and see the kind of artists we're working with currently. But as far as a personal note about starting in music, I think it's really important to not follow trends, to really find the why you gravitate towards making music, and bring that kind of originality forth, as opposed to hunting after capturing somebody else's success. You see that just all too often these days, where something becomes big, some kind of effect or drop or whatever it is, and then everybody starts to mimic it and use it, and that goes on and on until somebody completely new with their own solidified artistic vision breaks through. So my advice would be to kind of cultivate your own creativity, and feed yourself. Obviously whatever inspires you, but don't deliberately try to be influenced by other people's style.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to add, Jennifer?
No, I think that that's good what Sam said, but I also want to say meditating is extremely important for everybody to undertake. And I feel that the more that someone takes time to understand what lies within themselves and then express that creatively, the more original, the more true that creation is going to be to that individual. So the more that I see people taking time to self-reflect, the more I really kind of gravitate towards what they're doing. So I think it's important to meditate. And then come from that place of peace and understanding and create from that space. God, if everyone would do that, I feel like it would be magical.
Mm-hmm. As a meditation instructor, I would, also agree with meditation. It definitely helps me if I just meditate on my breath for 5 minutes in the morning. It completely changes my whole day.
Right, and becoming conscious of those ebbs and flows within our own reactions and our own emotions throughout the day. I think breathing into that and being able to be aware of what's going on within those reactions is important. Mm-hmm. And I'm not just saying that from a creation standpoint. I'm talking about life creation. I think it's extremely important in today's world for people to start implementing those things into their everyday experiences and to teach our children a way to utilize those tools so they can become clear channels and change the world rapidly so we can be living in a better place.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. So what are the rest of your plans for this year?
Well, we're going to Hawaii on vacation.
Nice. That's always a good thing.
It's one of our first vacations as a family in 3 or 4 years, so we're looking forward to that. But after we get back from the vacation, I think we're going to just jump right into starting to record the next album, which is called One Lonely Thunder. And hopefully that will be releasing at the end of this year.
Is that the EP you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, it's actually an LP. It's going to be about 13 songs, and hopefully we'll be able to release it on vinyl as well.
Okay,
and it's probably our first, official release in 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer.
6 years.
Yeah.
Because we've been releasing, we released Bloom as an EP, and then Surrender to This was an EP. So yeah, most of the stuff that we've been releasing have been EPs and singles. So yeah, it's a big undertaking. We're really excited about it. The music we think is pretty amazing, and yeah, I look forward to it.
Cool. Just real quick, what does LP stand for?
Long play. Like a long playing record.
Oh, cool.
So it's like an EP is usually like 5 songs, 6 songs max, and an LP is upwards of like 13, 14
Cool.
songs. Kind of like the standard LP vinyl with 2 sides that have 5 songs each.
Brilliant. Love it. Okay. So, were there any other plans that you had?
Other plans? I think
We're kind of developing the production side of Working Brilliantly. We've done, a music video for this great artist, Eli Raybon, and that was premiered on LA Buzz Bands and is in contention for this film festival that's at the end of this month. And we're actually going to probably do another music video for him. And we have a couple in development for our work, and we also have a short film that we'd like to get moving on, and eventually a feature film. I'm not sure how feasible it is to get those done this year, but working towards that goal.
Perfect. So, where can people find more information about you and Working Brilliantly and your music?
you can find us at themorningbirds.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, The Morning Birds. Working Brilliantly, you can find at workingbrilliantly.com, and on Twitter, we're WB Artists, and Instagram's Working Brilliantly. And I believe The Morning Birds, you can find our music videos on YouTube, and you can just search The Morning Birds and they will pop up. And yeah, we're in a beautiful place called Idlewild. If you're in Southern California and you've never been, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing place. Yeah.
Excellent.
Our production stuff goes under the banner Marcus Thorrington. It's both of our last names combined. So like our video, our filmmaking work is at Marcus, Markus, Thorrington. That's THORINGTON.com.
Excellent. And there's just one more quick thing that I would like to have you guys do, and then we can then we'll play the final song for everybody. Usually, when I interview a musician, I like it when they say, "This is blah blah from blah," and you're listening to Bring Me to Life Radio. So for you two, could you each take a turn and say your name of the Morning Birds, and you're listening to Bring Me to Life Radio.
This is Jennifer Thorrington of the Morning Birds, and you're listening to Bring Me to Life Radio.
This is Sam from the Morning Birds, and you're listening to Let me try that again.
Yeah, go.
Should I do my full name? I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, this is Sam from the Morning Birds, and you're listening to Bring Me to Life Radio.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
It was our pleasure. Thank you for taking the time, and hopefully we can do this again when the new album's out.
Oh, yes, please let me know when that comes out, and we'll definitely make sure to get you guys back on.
Awesome.
Cool. So go ahead and, yeah, you're welcome. Definitely. Always my pleasure. Go ahead and introduce the last song for everybody, if you would.
I have a Seed of Life. This is one of the very first songs we wrote and recorded as the Morning Birds. coming from the kind of Dylan influence definitely here, which was strong. I think it is also kind of has a Leonard Cohen touch there. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Well, the sun rose over the sunken sea and it shined that luminous light. And I watched as the stars turned cherry red in the warm October night. I looked ahead, shook my head, I almost had forgotten. We were miles apart, through the dark, heard your voice a-talking. You said I feel you in my bones. And the seed of life is sown in every key, every overtone, even in the darkness in between. The light can be seen. Whoa, well, the bottles in the basement hall have raindrops at the bottom. There's empty packs of cigarettes, you smoke them if you got 'em. The early morning steamship blows its horn across the ocean. You're not with me now, but somehow my heart's filled with devotion. I feel you in my bones. And the seed of life is sown in every key, every overtone, even in the darkness in between. The light can be seen. She sang everything will become clear when you release your fear. The hardest part of letting go is shedding all those tears. When you've been fighting it so long, you're holding back an ocean. Then we're breaking the land, we're shaking an earthquake of emotion. I feel you in my bones. And the seed of life is sown in every key, every overtone, even in the darkness in between. The light can be seen.